Falco vs. Peach is a matchup with a ton of history and meta development. There are some core things to understand that can inform a game plan versus Peach that you should become familiar with. This guide won't cover everything, and as always with Melee, there are likely some very specific situations and spacings that make some of these tips not as useful. If you do use the advice in this guide, I'm certain that it'll help you feel more comfortable versus Peach. Peach, comparatively to the rest of the cast, is a slow-moving character. She makes up for this by having fast hitboxes, low end lag on her float-cancelled aerials, the ability to place herself in hard-to-hit zones with her float, and heavy-hitting attacks and combos. There is a specific Peach float height that Peaches generally prefer in this matchup. This is a height directly above your short hop nair, dare, and high laser heights, but also low enough to attack you from. In my opinion, in most situations, it's too risky to try and get underneath her to do things like up tilt, so you have a few options. Using the side platform and using low short hop lasers can dissuade her from wanting to use this float height. You can also wait her float duration out and protect yourself with lasers. And once you've hit her down to the ground, you can more safely approach her. You can also jump off of the side platforms when she's at that float height to attack her from above. This matchup is a battle for stage position. There are a few key components as to why stage position matters so much versus Peach. The first reason being that she is very limited once she's been put into the corner.
What are you gonna do, Peach?
She has a hard time aggressing forward without taking on a good amount of risk, and she's also limited in that space defensively. In order to take advantage of this, do space pressure with different bear timings or go for a grab. Peaches will often shield here. There's also the issue of Falco dying early once he's in the corner.
Oh, gets the weak dash attack, it's killing.
This means that if you have a focus on putting Peach in the corner, and thus controlling the center part of the stage, even if you lose a mix-up, you won't be hit off stage. Lastly, Peach is terrible off the ledge. I know you've all been waiting to hear me talk about the top platform. My personal opinion is that timeouts or playing purely defensive from the top platform can be an effective strategy, but I prefer to use it in a different way. Like I said, this matchup is a battle for stage position. The top platform is a very useful tool for you to escape to when cornered, which strongly alleviates that problem. When you're on the top platform, Peaches often back up into the corner to be safe from your drop-through options and try to pull a turnip. This means that she has cornered herself and then you can aggress on her. So I think of the top platform more as a positioning tool than a timeout win condition. Pay attention to her resources. What I mean by this is pay attention to whether or not she still has her double jump or her float. Her double jump is a useful tool not only for recovery and gaining height, but also for altering her momentum quickly. When she doesn't have a double jump, she's a lot more linear of a character. When she doesn't have her float, she'll have a much harder time recovering as well, but also lose access to float cancelled aerials, which is her main way of contesting you in neutral and pressuring you. Peach will attempt to get above your lasers using that float height that we talked about earlier. Something you can do to make it difficult for her to reach that height initially is shooting a low laser into a high approaching laser. This will catch her as she's rising, unless she is very fast and precise. Catching her in transition can mean openings for you. Pay attention to whether or not she has float when Peach grabs the ledge. Grabbing ledge refreshes her ability to double jump, but does not refresh her ability to float. This means that if you've burnt her float and she's on the ledge, she is even more exploitable than before. Aggress on Peach when she has a turnip in hand. When she has a turnip in her hand, she's unable to down smash, dash attack, jab, grab, or aerial without floating. This obviously means that she's incredibly limited. There are some tricks they can do with turnips that can help them, but in general this is a great situation to be aggressive in. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. There were some very basic things that I left out, such as not holding down on Peach's down smash or being careful about dash attack, but those are very beginner level things that this video isn't necessarily targeted to. But if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and also make sure to check out my Twitch stream, which should be in the description below. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.